Good evening, everybody here, and welcome to the Hardee's National Series here. We are at IRP here for, again, more short track racing, this time under the lights yet again here. Bobby Jones qualifying on the pole here, Nick Salmon on his outside, and here we go as we are racing here. Green flag in the air. And already side by side at a turn number 2, Nick Salmon trying to get the advantage, and here he does, and Nick Salmon taking the lead already on lap 1. Already a strong start for the Dairy Queen Toyota. Bring Nick Salmon up front, because he'll be leading us down and lead lap number 1 of the race here. Bobby Jones already falling back here, a rocky start for the 6 car. Nick Salmon, the winner national, has been holding on to the lead for the first couple laps here in the early going. As there you see Mason Gordon, our Mosport winner, trying to look underneath the 18. Can't quite make it work there, but Mason Gordon certainly catching that car within a heartbeat there. There you see the zest forward of James Richardson there in the 17 car, as well as Charlie Smith, Bobby Jones there rounding out your top 5 there. But the cars in the top 2 are bumper to bumper. There you see Mason Gordon trying to experiment on the outside line this time around, not quite able to make it work, and James Richardson's there to pounce on that number 10 car there. Great battling within the top 3, but they are all closing in on each other fast. There you see Bobby Jones. Oh, he's got some issues with the 6 car. Something wrong with Bobby Jones's car. Looks like they might have lost some power. That 6 machine looks like Caleb Hoffman had some issues in the wall at turn 4. And the 6 car is going to park that car all the way down to the bottom of the track. Tough break for Bobby Jones here. The pole sitter coming in looked very hopeful in getting a win today, and that's certainly not going to be the case for him. However, a debris caution would come out for some odd reason, and Nick Salmon would lead the field down. Reality, I really don't know what happened to that, but Nick Salmon leads over Mason Gordon, Charlie Smith not too far behind, Garrett Sidner and Richardson trying to get around some lap traffic here of Kermika Jazin and Bobby Jones. We heard Jazin will not be returning to the titanium seat, so we wish him the best of luck. But Chris Dunn now trying to take advantage of the outside line. There you see Emma White in the 82, not too far behind. Emma White doing a fantastic job for that team. Haven't really had the best results, but Emma White really just trying to give as much power as they can. Corey Williams and John Arndt are both running rather fantastic today. They are both 9th and 10th in the early going here. Good runs for both car numbers 19 and 88. Green flag back in the air. Luis Hernandez leading over Eric DeMax and Dylan Schwallenberg. That's your top 3. There you see Milton Campbell came down pit lane under caution during a green flag run, but that didn't work out too well for her plans here. And a bit of contact there between the 4 and the 81 there. Campbell trying to get around that 4 car for, not really for position at all, as Kermika Jazin goes up the track holding up Jake West, much to his displeasure. A couple drivers making their way up into the field. Bradley Bishop Jr. is up in the 6th spot now. The blue flared driver will be moving on, as you see a bit more contact there between Flickinger and West there, and West holds on to the position, but certainly not what Zach Flickinger wanted either. So really already some beating and banging fenders here, as Hernandez just came down pit lane. You might have seen that Heinz car. It is a little bit of a pixel there, but certainly the top 2 now are Eric DeMax and Dylan Schwallenberg. And we got issues for Hayden Klein. The Red Bull has blown up, and Cody Lamas nearly turns the 84 there. Close call for Cody Lamas, but a tough break for Hayden Klein. Puts that Ike Durbin Incorporated car behind the wall. And he was having an excellent run here so far, and it's not going to really be the case here today. Big battle for position within the top 10 here. Matt DeLeo's in the wall. Here comes Colby Jackson. He gets loose, and he clips Scott McCann. Both cars go spinning around. Lamas gets swept up. Richardson and a whole bunch of cars pile in. It's a melee here at IRP. Caution is out again. And there you see Mason Gordon collected as well. Couple more points contenders. Garrett Sidner is involved as well. And that is a tough break for the 20 team as well as the 1942. A lot of drivers with heavy damage to their race cars here in the early stages of Lucas Oil Raceway. James Richardson trying to get around Bobby Jones. He gets into the back of him, and Kermika Jazin gets collected up there, and the 4 goes around. Caution is out on the track here And here comes the rest of the pack, and Robert Harrison runs into the back of him, as well as Blaze McKinney. Both cars destroyed. The 90 with heavy front end damage, as well as the 74. Looks like their races are done. You see Colby Jackson getting loose off of turn 2, really clips the 1. Llama's trying to slow down, gets run over by Richardson, and everybody else just trying to avoid all the wreckage there, the carnage up near the end. There's the 20 actually running into the 4 there, but a lot of cars with damage. Richardson's car is smoking. His day is done. Luis Hernandez almost wrecked himself trying to avoid the carnage as well, but a lot of damage to several good race cars here that were looking good in the point standings, and that's not really going to help them whatsoever. Cody Lamas, another one, like I mentioned, he was high up in the point standings, and that's not really going to help him too much. Eric DeMax leads on the restart here. Dylan Schwalmberg not too far behind, but the caution already out on the track, and it is Johnny Gardner spinning the car around. And I think as they race back down towards the line, it will still be Eric DeMax, but we're going to have to see what happened with the 33 there. And coming off of turn 4, it looks like Carly McDowell went for a hole there. Gardner slid up and closed it, and it didn't work out and sent the 33 for a spin. I think John Bunnell took a little spin is there. Yeah, the Walmart machine definitely took a spin there, but a minor wreck there. Back to green, Eric DeMax has just continued to put on a show for the fans here. Dylan Schwalmberg sitting in that second spot, very hungry for his first win and for the team itself. They have been winless in these 2 seasons so far, but Dylan Schwalmberg looking like a great candidate to go and get that victory here. As you see the rest of the field really trying to get themselves scattered around. Casey Lester running inside the top 10 now. Good run for him, but a lot of the field are really just trying to get themselves back into position here. Garrett Sidner down pit lane. He hasn't really had the best of runs so far, as there you see the top 2 have checked out away from the rest of the field here. Contact there, and Alexander Rowe goes into the wall. There's Richardson collecting, Williams slamming into the picture there, and a lot more drivers piling in at the end as Williams went for a single roll. Heavy crash for the Puma machine. As for the CBM, that car is out. Cole Devers, the race is done as well. Eric DeMax just has been continuing to lead. Dylan Schwalmberg in that second spot, West to third. As you see a lot of the lap cars down at the bottom of the racetrack really just trying to get themselves back a lap here. Hernandez certainly fighting. This is important because he needs to gain as many positions as he can. Trying to get underneath Eric DeMax for a lap back. He's still fighting back on that inside line. DeMax fighting strong up high. And looks like Schwalmberg maybe trying to see this as an opportunity to pounce on this 5 car. But it doesn't look like it's going to be the case. Schwalmberg gets around the 12. Hernandez will not get the lap back. One of the few drivers that actually managed to get a lap back was Milton Campbell, and she's certainly done a great job. She just made a 3-wide pass on John Arndt, and Mason Gordon aren't fighting back on the outside line, but you got to give a shout out to that 81 team. They've done something well with that car. And also, you have to also give a shout out to Kyle Bichelia running in the 10th spot for Trailblazer Motorsports. That car is not really the most funded team here, and usually they are one of the more slower cars, like one of, you can consider more of a back market team, but they are certainly showing that true talent is all over the equipment here at Short Track. So that really is a great equalizer here. So give a shout out to Kyle Bichelia doing a fantastic job here in the 99. And we've got more problems on the track. Matt DeLeo has blown the car up. Something amiss happened to the 92. They were doing excellent. They're marching their way from the back to the front, and it's going to end up sour here today. Their night is over in a tough break for Matt DeLeo. As there's a side-by-side battle for the lead here. Dylan Schwalmberg looking low underneath Eric DeMax. Can he get the spot? No, he cannot. And Eric DeMax holds on to the lead with the amount of outside momentum he gets there on corner exit. He looks like Schwalmberg can't really do much unless DeMax smacks the wall. Here comes Schwalmberg down underneath again, underneath Eric DeMax. Lap cars are in the way. Carly McDowell, John Bunnell, and Wade Brummer. As there you see DeMax rocketing his way past the 7. As McDowell, Schwalmberg might use that 7 to slide up the track here, see if he can do anything. And it doesn't look like it's going to be the case. Schwalmberg's going to have to either go up high or low. But it looks like the traffic's clearing way for Eric DeMax. There you see Jake West up on the outside line trying to make a move. Schwalmberg makes it underneath the 7 there, but the 15 holds him up. So lap cars getting in the way there. Bobby Jones, another lap car. A lot of lap traffic in the way here, but Jake West certainly now in the mix for second, as wow, almost made some contact at a turn 2 there with the 14 and the 7. John Bundle's in the wall at turn 4. Here comes Bobby Jones, and both of them collide. Luis Hernandez gets swept up in it, as well as Emma White and Garrett Sidner. As the yellow flag flies again, looks like the feud between Bundle and Jones has not really settled down, as there you see Bundle is not going to be happy. He was a lap car, but both cars were actually a lap down coming in, more than a lap down or so, but certainly not going to be happy. Back on the restart though, as you saw Bundle down at the bottom of the track there. Eric DeMax leading over Dylan Schwalmberg and Jake West. Really, this top 3 has remained unchanged throughout. We're going to look at a little spectator cam. You see the lap traffic playing pretty much a fundamental role for the lead lap cars here, so they really need to get out of harm's way. As Zach Flickinger in the wall off of turn 4, and Sidner slides, but luckily they hold on to it. A couple cars near the back really trying to see this as an opportunity here. Jake West reeling in Schwalmberg for second, can't quite get it, as Flickinger trying to defend his position from Caleb Hoffman. Charlie Smith running in that 7th position. Rather quiet run for the 3 team. They haven't really been that fast, but they've been kind of under the radar in terms of speed, but a lot more cars dicing and all over the place, and Campbell gets turned around as 81 gets hit, spins that car around simply, but John Arndt gets collected, as well as Garrett Sidner there. He got loose off of turn 4, clipping the 81 machine. Green flag back in the air. Eric DeMax and Dylan Schwalmberg have been really much the class of the field all day, despite DeMax leading the most laps here today. DeMax certainly putting on some dominance here, and even with little experience, short track racing is a good equalizer for several competitors here. As West is in the wall in turns number 3 and 4. Can Nick Salmon do anything about it? Here they come, and we've got trouble near the back. James Richardson spinning the car around. Bobby Jones, and there you see the CM Racing cars of Johnny Gardner and Chris Dodd are swept in it, as the caution is out yet again. Cautions are breeding cautions, as those 2 drivers will be racing it back down towards the line, but I think Eric DeMax has got it. As you can see, they were all getting all over the place there. John Bundle and Garrett Sidner collided, and Sidner and Bundle kept really making contact there, and that put James Richardson in a bad situation. And you see the 8 and the 33 collide near the end after running into the back of Bobby Jones, and a lot of damage to Johnny Gardner's front end. Back green again. Your Eric DeMax has been the dominant car today. He's the one to beat. Can Dylan Schwalmberg do anything to catch this 5 car? He's about even with him, but the problem is you can't really pass this car unless there's a mistake happening. Eric DeMax sliding up the track, Schwalmberg down at the bottom, but we've got trouble there. Caution out again, and side by side, not able to get it, but Eric DeMax still holding on. Carmika Jazin was rather frustrated with the slow Wade Brummer, turns the 15 right into the path of many lead lap cars. David Culpepper, John Arndt collected, Josh Crash, and several of the other blue flag cars, the 81 and the 41, involved as well. But that shows the showcase of tempers flaring here at the short tracks such as this one. Green flag yet again in the air. DeMax still leading over Schwalmberg. Really, these are going to be the 2 names I'll be talking about. Nearly closing half there. Bobby Jones trying to make it 3 wide underneath John Bundle there. Really unhappy with this 53, as Bobby Jones and Bundle haven't really had the best of terms of chemistry, to be exact. But Nick Salmon is up to P3. He's reeled in the number 14 there, but they are 3 wide off of turn 4. There you see Bradley Bishop Jr. trying to gain some lost ground. Scott McCann running inside the top 10. Give a shout out to him. He's been rather quiet all day, avoided most of the trouble, so he's doing rather fine here in the circuit. But right now, your top 3 has pretty much been closing in on each other. But Dylan Schwalmberg has a good shot here. Can he get around Eric DeMax? I think DeMax has the better car, but Schwalmberg is better in that draft, so, or whatever you want to call it, even draft at all. But Dirty Air isn't really the best for this 14 team, but certainly they are rather good for a 2nd place car here today. But very much Eric DeMax has put on a show here. He's dominated the whole race pretty much ever since he's inherited the lead. There's been no turning back for the low Chevrolet. We've seen Jordan Davis in victory lane with this car, so we know the 5 car is really strong. They've had some good runs in and out, but they've been also inconsistent. So Eric DeMax really trying to prove he is not really spoiled, to be exact, even though he's in the Mace ride. But certainly a guy with a lot of potential in the future here for the Sony Cup Series once he gets up there. Like I said, he'll be doing the Indy double, so here we go with about 5 laps to go. Dylan Schwalberg sitting in that second spot. You see the Office Depot Chevrolet in the picture in the back. Can he do anything, or will he just end up short? But Eric DeMax has done a fantastic job. Hasn't really made many mistakes on the track so far, but otherwise he's just been rather running his own pace. But him and Schwalbenberg have been the cars that have been strong up there, but Schwalbenberg goes way up behind the racetrack, nearly in the wall there. So that's going to cost him some ground here, looks like, as Luis Hernandez is now going to try and pounce on in the lap car, playing a role, and that's just what Eric DeMax really needs here. Dylan Schwalbenberg certainly going to be very frustrated here with the lap car of Luis Hernandez. And Hernandez certainly one of the few. He knows the points are on the line, but even though Schwalbenberg's going to end up second, he's going to lose some points no matter what. 3 laps to go here. Dylan Schwalbenberg is just trying to dig in deep. He doesn't care where the tires are at. He's just going to go for that victory here, even though he's about 7/10 back. But Eric DeMax has just pulled off a comfortable gap here with 2 laps to go here at IRP. Can he hold off the hard-charging Dylan? As there you see this, it's now down to 6/10 this time around. So he's gained some time that time around, but as for the rest of the field, Caleb Hoffman's been up to 3rd. You notice the 16 there. Nick Salmon, Jake West, a couple of others there. Josh Crash is up to 7th there, but here they come to the white flag. 1 more lap to go here at IRP. Dylan Schwalbenberg still trying to dig in. He's now half a second behind the 5. He's closed in the gap this time around. Down the back straightaway for the final time. Eric DeMax dives it in hard into turn 3. Schwalbenberg takes it actually rather easy, but here he comes. He's digging out of turn 4, but it's not going to be enough. Eric DeMax wins his first ever Hardee's National Series race here, and it's going to be at Lucas Oil Raceway. Congratulations to Eric DeMax on the victory here. Dylan Schwalbenberg was only 3/10 about short, but will end up, he's just going to have to deal with another second here. That team is waiting for a win sooner or later. But Dylan Schwalbenberg will end up short today, but a really good points day for the 14 team. But congratulations to Eric DeMax on the victory. You'll look at the results here in just shortly, but congratulations to the 5 as he'll be able to do his celebratory burnouts.